So how do you apply this? Say, this was a commercial product and, some beekeepers wanted to use it in their hives. Is this a spore spray? Is this just spores or an oil, or do you just spray it everywhere? Is it at specific spots? How does it work?
It's a fantastic question. So that's actually kind of where we're at right now in our research, is trying to figure out what's the most appropriate delivery method for these spores. So during our initial research and trials, uh, I did the easiest method possible, which is I grew it on a petri dish and I flipped the petri dish over. I pulled out the agar plate and just put it in the hive upside down so that the spores were kind of raining down on the bees, if you will. I think while that works for research purposes, if this were to be a more applicable thing, especially for commercial beekeepers where they have thousands of hives, we're thinking maybe something a little bit more easy of an application. So we're currently looking at growing it on grains and possibly using them as grain bags, or maybe inserting it into like a existing frame. We're also looking at different synthetic materials like felt and impregnating that with the fungus. There's a couple of routes that we're looking at.
So one of my favorite ones, for those that have the video component, I'll hold it up to the camera. This is a little bag made from banana fibers, and the bees can chew it up over time. And so if we grow the fungus on a grain, we can put this mesh bag of grain into the hive. Spores can fall out of the mesh, but then as the bees chew it away, because they don't like this foreign thing in their hive, they chew the bag, they begin to spill the grain all over the place. Bees crawl into the bag and pull the grain out. They end up spreading the spores around as they work it. And if you come back 3 or 4 weeks later, all you find is a few fibers, but most of the bag has been chewed away and cleaned out.
And it's really nice because again, it's made with banana fiber, so it's a nice natural fiber. We're not concerned about putting something, too weird in a hive.